the Emanuel R. Freedman Scholarship endowed by the family. The winner is Sarah Dadouch, also from Colombia, who was raised in Damascus and wrote about refugees escaping Aleppo in her essay. She is both Arabic and Turkish and is headed for the Reuters Bureau in Istanbul. She faces a very high bar because a recent winner of this award was Ben Taub, who's been burning up the pages of The New Yorker with his coverage of the trail of terrorists from Brussels into Syria. But please. Presenting is Manny Freedman's daughter, Alix.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm from Syria. I was raised in Damascus, and when you're raised in a country like mine, you are raised to believe that change is not possible, it's unattainable. Imagine Orwell's boots stamping on a human face forever, if you may. So I never thought I could be a journalist because real journalism didn't exist in my country. But hope is a really, really powerful thing. And when the revolution happened, it changed the lives of more people than I can count in more ways that I can describe. And so it let the people who wanted to protest be able to protest, and the people who wanted to speak out be able to speak out, and the people who wanted to be journalists be able to be journalists. So that's what I did. After I graduated from UC-Berkeley, where I was getting my undergraduate, I moved to Istanbul, where I worked as a fixer. And I lived in Istanbul and in Gaziantep by the border. I was in Izmir by the water and in Ayvacık in the mountains. I fixed for BuzzFeed News and New York Times, Reuters Video, Vice, BBC, that kind of thing. And then I moved to the border where I worked with a Syrian organization. And now I'm here at Columbia, having covered the refugee crisis and an underground library in the city of Dadouch and the Syrian government profiteering from an ISIS siege on one of its own towns. And after this, I'm going to be going to Reuters, thanks to the OPC Foundation in their Istanbul bureau. And so today we are in the waning days of our hope for freedom in Syria. A lot has been lost, but the thick barrier of fear has been breached. And I love being a journalist. I love FOIA requests, and I love writing, and I love hearing people's stories. But the main reason I want to be a journalist, the main reason I am a journalist is because for most of my life, I couldn't be. And suddenly now I can. So thank you very much.